Okay, give me the rundown on everything.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's been pretty. Yeah, the I went into this tournament and I was like super preparing. Like I kind of knew, I kind of knew it was gonna come down to like me and three other players. Two of them, one of them is the DK that I always talk about.
Hmm.
Um, I low key have like figured out DK though. I've low key like I give me like I'm not sweating if I had DK player at the major. I feel really
Nice.
good about it, which is a thing now apparently. But it was that. It was like this Box Fox player that was like a former like top TF2 player that like came out of nowhere. It's super good.
Hmm.
Um, and then the guy who ends up winning Eclipse. And so I pretty much just prepped insanely hard, like solo practiced like so much, and just like grinded really hard, studied. I watched Cody versus Junebug at Supernova probably like 10 times before the Arcadian, like literally, like just all of that. So I just prepped super hard, and I felt like I did everything that I could have done like before the tournament to set myself up for success. Like I like slept, ate a good meal before, all of that. And then I just like got to the tournament and I'm playing shaky like the whole time in winners. Like the whole time I'm just like playing shaky. I don't know exactly what it is. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what's
Hmm.
going on in my head, but like I'm just like not playing my game. I like dropped a game before I made it out of pools, which I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have dropped probably any games until semis. And then I lost to this Falco player that I've never lost to in quarters. Who I like 3-0'd that guy yesterday,
Yeah.
like just lost to him. And then I went into losers and I kind of just had this like feeling of like, all right, well, like I already lost and it's like I could either like buster here and like go for it. And like I realized that like it felt so much easier to play from losers because like once you already lose early, like no one's kind of expecting anything, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like that was like such a huge part of what I think led to me being able to get that momentum. That and like I just kind of like went into like a total like weird mode. Like I didn't talk to anyone. I like put on headphones and listened to like one song on repeat, and I was just repeating this mantra that Jake told me in my head like the whole time. That was that was pretty much all I was on. And then I just blew through losers pretty quickly. Like beat everybody. I beat the DK player that was the 1 seed. I beat the Fox in losers finals, who was the 3 seed, or who was the 4 seed, because I was the 3 seed. So I like beat two of the three people that were like people thought could win it.
Hmm.
Beat three other people as well on the way, and then I just like got to grands and like I felt like I was still in that super clutch like headspace, but my you know I was just like I was so gassed, playing that many sets, and I also had one doubles too, so like like I also went through an entire doubles bracket.
Yeah.
Uh, so that was like I was just so gassed, and I felt like my only chance against this guy was like I had to have like good I had to be like fully there. And like I definitely by this point, like this is my ninth, 10th set of the tournament. I'm like after already winning a doubles bracket that had like 22 teams, like I was super just like out of it. So that's
Hmm.
pretty much the main thing. So like I guess to summarize more succinctly, like I was the 3 seed at this, and honestly, I'm getting seeded like way higher at locals. Like I'm I'm like at this point, I think I've pretty much locked down PR. I'm like pretty sure I've
Sheesh.
like done the math and looked at the head to heads. I think I'm just gonna be 9 on the PR. I think that's what's gonna happen. And then so I'm just like getting seeded higher at these tournaments, and I always realize like once it's like winners quarters time or like you're like done playing like people that like are just never gonna beat you no matter what. Like the first like hard set or like set you have to really use your brain for. I just get like so nervous about like, oh, like I don't want to like take this loss and like go through to like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Go and like have to go in the long run and like have more chances to lose to these people that I shouldn't lose to, that'll like hurt my ranking, hurt my seed at the next tournament. So there's like that whole thing that I'm dealing with for the first time, because I was always used to being like the guy that was improving quickly and trying to like beat people,
Mm-hmm.
and now like people want to beat me, which is weird.
Yeah,
And
it is
then
very weird.
and then on top of that, because I'm just making it farther in bracket, just like by virtue of just like getting better, I guess, like I'm playing in like, instead of losing and getting like seventh and fifth, I'm like, I've lost in loser semis literally like four of the Monday week, the big weekly, like four of them in a row. I've gotten fourth,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like all different players, all players that like I think I could beat, but it's just like I feel like something happens like around that time when I've played that much melee, where it's like my brain gets really foggy. It's like really like hard to like fully lock in like I was before, especially because like losers quarters is never easy. Like I'm always having to sweat in quarters too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm always like playing a PR player or a PR level player in quarters. If I, and if I win that, it's like I have to play another one that's like harder. And like by that point, having to like play that much like full exertion melee, like I start getting stuck in shine. Like my brain's not fully there. I like miss an easy reaction. I'm late on a tech chase.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like generally want like advice for like transitioning to being a like higher seed at locals, and how to improve tournament stamina, because I feel like there's so many tournaments where like I'm in losers finals and or losers semis, and I'm like I could win this tournament. I could beat every person that's like in my path, but
Mm-hmm.
like it feels like the main thing that's gatekeeping me is like energy, like literally like energy and like mental.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's like a melee, like I don't think it's like a physical thing for most of the time. Sometimes you have like Panko there or something or H2, but like, the ones where they're not there, like I just feel like I could win any of those.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I have a few thoughts. So I think first, I guess we could talk about the being like a higher seed or a better player or someone who people like at least have expectations for. Because that's probably one of the hardest parts of being good. I think that's something that a lot of players who are still even good don't have down. Like you see Moki post every other week, about how like he feels a certain way about people's expectations, or Zamu doesn't like being perceived and doesn't want to be ranked or something like that. I think it's still a prominent thing for a lot of players who are good. So that kind of goes to show how difficult it is. But
Yeah,
I mean, the way that I view it, and this might not be like the most like this might not be the way everyone views it. I'm not really sure. But my personal experience is I I don't have positive feelings about people being like, "Oh, you're so good," or "You're gonna win," or "You should beat that guy," or like people wanting to beat me. But I kind of think that a lot of the time when I go to tournaments, I at least have built up like my perception of tournaments to almost never include any of those thoughts at all. Like I don't when I think of tournaments, me thinking about how people perceive my results or like my results in general or anything like that. Like I don't those aren't thoughts that really ever cross my mind unless like brought up to me. Like when I'm playing in tournament sets or something, I'm not thinking, man, if I lose, this is a really bad loss. Or if I do think that, it's not something that I'm like sitting on. It's like, the passive thought you have where you're walking down the street and you're like, oh, there's a rock that is shaped like a ball. It's like one of those thoughts. And I think kind of I guess there's probably a way to separate your perception of tournament and your overall like kind of melee perception, just because it's a completely unique environment, and I think because of that you could do a lot of like kind of shifting around with that kind of stuff. Like it's a lot more malleable than I guess it would seem like, because on the surface it's all melee. Does that feel
yeah.
like it makes sense?
No, yeah, it makes sense. It's yeah, I guess it's just like so many times, like I'll show up to the local, right, and I see my bracket path, like it gets seated, and then like there's like that 15-20 minute period before bracket starts.
Mm-hmm.
I look at my bracket, and I'm like, okay, like I guess I'm playing like this person in quarters, and then like if I beat this person that I quote unquote should beat, like I get a set against someone that's like really relevant. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It's like, oh, like not like really relevant in like a, like really relevant in the terms of like me winning that set is something that would be like, uh, you know,
It'd be good for your
no,
ranking, where it'd feel good
good for my
emotionally or something like
ranking,
that,
good,
right?
yeah, good for my ranking and good for like my personal benchmark of like,
Yeah.
okay, like this is a person that is in the tier that I want to be beating consistently to like and not be losing to like go to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just like kind of the way I kind of perceive melee improvement a lot in a general sense. Like I kind of just center it around skill tiers,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there's like being able to punch up to the skill tier like one above yours, and then there's not losing to people in your own skill tier
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's kind of the way I just generally perceive it. And at the locals, I kind of have everybody perceived in some sort of skill tier in my
Mm-hmm.
head, just by playing them all and seeing the way they perform. And so I could see, like, okay, like, this is someone that is, like, in a skill tier below me that, like, wants to punch up, or somebody that is in my skill tier that I have a really good record on,
Yeah.
or something like that. And then it's like, oh, but like, so if I handle this thing that like, history shows that I should be able to overcome, now I am in this thing where like everything that I want to play for is like right there. Like I beat that person, and then it's like, oh, this is the person that has given me a lot of trouble that I could, go take a set off of, or this is someone I've never beaten, or you know what I'm saying? And it's just like
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time getting like, especially in winners. In winners, I have a hard time getting really wrapped up in that. It feels like once I lose and I'm in losers, I can just kind of let it all go and just like look at the screen and like play melee.
Yeah.
But like in winners, for some reason, I just never feel like I'm able to compartmentalize and just like look at the screen and just play the game. So
Mm-hmm.
I always feel like I play my best melee in like losers quarters or like sevenths,
Yeah.
you know.
I think it is worth, I guess, analyzing what super duper baseline why the fact that you're in losers feels better than in winners, because obviously it's like, oh, you don't have the pressures of these things, or you're less wrapped up in your ideas of people's skills and stuff, but like, why, I guess, is that the case? And if you could find out why, you know ultimately it'll probably be like, well, I have nothing to lose because I've already lost. But it's kind of like, to spin that around, I guess, in a way where it's functional for winners. It's kind of like, what difference does it make if I win or lose at any point, Because it's like, I kind of, at least for me, I kind of feel like winning and losers is the same thing for me as winning and winners. Like, I feel similarly about it, and I feel the same about winning and losers. I feel the same about all of my matches kind of at any point. And it's like, to me, there isn't really that much of a difference. Obviously when you lose and losers, you're out of the tournament or whatever, but like, I'm not going to be sitting there playing in the tournament worried about losing and being out of the tournament, because I'm in the tournament. It's like, why am I thinking
Yeah.
about being out of it when I'm in it? And so it's like,
Yeah.
because of that, I kind of feel like I could see winners and losers pretty much the same. And I think, at least for me, I play probably exactly the same between the two, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for that consistency. Like I just feel like I'll watch the way that I'm playing. Like I'll watch Bag of VOD and I'm just like so shaky here. I'm swinging so early. I'm like just all these like little things.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll watch myself play against same matchup and losers, or same players sometimes in losers, and it's just like completely different set, and I'm just like I don't, I don't feel like it's like I'm not playing enough melee. It doesn't feel like something that needs to that I did, and it doesn't feel like something that I needed to do before the tournament or
Yeah.
before the set. It
Yeah.
feels very like,
It's purely on the
you
moment.
know,
It's not like you didn't practice. It's
yeah,
just something in your brain switched from winners to losers, or from, X set to Y set. Yeah.
yeah,
I think something that is pretty important about the playing well and loser or winners, and like kind of just being able to play well regardless is I think that, man, I had a point. Where was I going with this? It was that um oh, it's that I think from your perspective, you talked about how you're kind of used to being the challenger or like the underdog or the person that's like getting better, right? And I think
Yeah.
you covered this pretty much, but like when you fall into losers, you just kind of are in that position again. It's you lost. Oh
Yeah.
well, you have to make it up. Functionally, it ends up being pretty much the same emotionally, I think, and I kind of feel like a part of that. Honestly, this could be just some work you do outside the tournament or melee in general, where it's like when you like kind of think about your player, look at your play, you have to put it into like the correct box because in your head,
Hmm.
you might be like, oh well, I'm this skill level and there's these players, but like your perception of that idea is still like, oh well, I'm a challenger trying to get better or whatever. But like maybe you have to be like,
Yeah.
I am one of the better players, and then you work from there, and you keep doing that over and over, obviously, because it's not like you're the best player in the world now, but like you kind of have to get to the point where I guess you're comfortable with the fact that you're at that skill level, and honestly, that could be a matter of time, because it's not like you've been this skill level for a long time. You've been getting better. And so you're probably still
Yeah.
going to be pretty new at that skill level. And maybe you just need more time of playing in these tournaments and being mindful and trying to, like, do whatever it is to separate, maybe your perception from the game or become more comfortable with playing against players that could beat you, but you probably shouldn't lose to. Um, and yeah, I think that probably ends up being a pretty big step, both time and
Yeah.
kind of like realizing that, like internalizing, I guess, because consciously, but I'm sure like the deepest part of your brain probably might feel different, and that could be the
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah. I was talking with Den at Tipped Off. I don't know if you know who Den is, the
Yeah, the
Tennessee Fox.
fox. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's a super homie, super cool guy. We were talking, and we were just talking about the phenomena of like what happens to a person's brain like the first time they get PR'd. Because I wasn't like that, like right before Tipped Off was like the start of me performing at like I guess like a PR level, like, or I didn't start out the season like that. It just kind of like feels like it just like happened and then continued, and now that's just what keeps happening.
Hmm.
I don't really know you know what I'm saying? That's really just what it feels like. It feels like it just like happened all at once, and I just kind of
Yeah.
stopped beating these people and started beating these people. You know, but or stopped losing to these people and started beating these people.
Yeah.
And so we talked about that phenomena. We're just like, yeah, man, like you just have to figure out like how to like it's just like it's very different when like you're the notch on people's belt because you're like ranked and all of that. And
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just I don't know. I think the part of it, I'm kind of almost feeling like a pre-anxiety where it's like, who knows? Like maybe like I feel like I think like everyone's telling me like, yeah, man, like I think you've kind of just locked it up at this point. I think you're probably gonna be around here or whatever. Like I might not get it, but like or like at least I have to think that, so it's not like crazy if I don't. But I think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get it, and like I'm already like feeling the pre-anxiety of like I don't want to have that like first season on the PR where I spend like a couple of weeks just eating dog shit losses because like I've seen it happen. Like
Yep.
I've seen it happen. Like I just see it. It's like they're PR'd and then it's just like non-PR loss, non-PR loss. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm just trying to like almost like really like keep a figure out how I need to make my mentality going forward to like prevent that because like
Yeah.
I'm only trying to move up. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
linear, but like
You want to
I'm not
trend
want to be
upwards at least. Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to be fucking around like that. I don't want to
Yeah.
all of a sudden, just like have like this 2 month hot streak, 3 month hot streak, and then like all of a sudden I'm just fucking like taking losses left and right.
Hmm. Yeah. I think for me, what helped is honestly at all stages of my Melee career, there has never been a single point ever where I haven't felt like I was that like X skill tier far before I was officially recognized as so. And I think I don't mean this in a way where it's like you're conceited about it, where it's like, yeah, I'm the GOAT. I'm so much better than blah blah blah. It's not that way, but it's like I I have irrefutable evidence, whether it's based off my tournament sets or just watching the damn VOD and looking at what I do compared to other players, to at least have some inkling that I am in XYZ skill tier, you know?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's like I've I've personally always been able to avoid the whole like ranking nerves or like get ranked and be really bad, because it's like functionally nothing's ever changed, you know, whether the ranking says whatever or not. I kind of still feel like I'm going to be that skill level, and whether it's officially recognized or not, it's redundant, you know.
Yeah.
And I think there's a way to healthily go about that, because it's really easy to be like, oh well, of course I'm this skill level. You know, I got to be confident I'm that skill level, and then it ends up being really bad, because I know there's a lot of players who do that, and then they end up in the position where they plateau really hard, and like it takes so much longer to get over that than if they just like kind of did what they did before. But I think just being critical of your play and diligent with the game will give you like the information to be confident about it. Like I was only confident that, oh, I'm probably that skill level because I studied the game super diligently up to that point, and I knew everything I needed to know, and I had a strong grasp on my play, and I knew everything that I did precisely to be like, yeah, I probably was that skill level. It's not really a surprise to me.
Yeah.
And then with like, you know, where losses fall into that, getting bad losses sucks, and it feels really bad, and it sucks. And people are like, "Yo, did you hear that Billy Bo Peep lost to X guy?" It's like, dude, why do you care? It's not, this isn't your business, but it's like, you just,
Yeah.
it kind of like, you
And
can't
that's the other thing. It's like
process it.
everyone cares about rankings. Like
Everyone cares.
you could be like a like. It's funny because like you mentioned like Zamu and Moki. Like these people are obviously dealing with these like issues on such a high level. Like I am dealing with like my small little local scene. So it's such a smaller pond, but it's like it's the same shit.
It's
Like,
still ass.
you
People
know,
weren't meant for
random
this
Joe,
much exposure.
yeah, random Joe Schmo on Twitter is gonna like say some shit about Moki or Zamu, and like local one tour is gonna say some dumb shit to me about the loss that I take. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's just kind of
absolutely.
like it's just like it's just interesting. And I think yeah. Also, like, I'm not trying to fucking hang around in this skill tier for long. Like, I'm just trying to keep moving up. I want to keep my rate of improvement and
No.
fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to be like top 100 as quickly as fucking possible. So, like, that's just where my brain's at too. So I think like thinking about this stuff earlier would probably help
It'll
me.
help a lot. Yeah. By the time you'll get top 100, you'll be ready, and it'll be an easy thing. And yeah, no,
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, that's the other side of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like I've ended up in the position of, I have kind of like rationalized why those people behave the way they do. It's like, oh, they're just spectators. It's like if you're talking about the Lakers playing in, you know, the Olympics, and it's like, what's going to happen in Lakers France, you know? I don't know, blah blah blah. It's like they're just doing the same thing as that. And it's like, oh, whatever. And I think you have to realize that they're just, and not in like, this isn't me saying in a dick way or anything, they're just not in the same world that you are. You're simply doing different things, you know. It's like, imagine, are you going to say the guy watching basketball on his couch is in the same position emotionally as LeBron James? It's like, no, they're doing two different things, you know. And I think understanding, like internalizing that fact did a lot for me to be like, well, they're going to be that way because why wouldn't they be that way, you know? Of course they're going to talk about like things that happen in the scene, or have thoughts that happen on with stuff that happens in the scene, without like maybe having the tact that a player would, because why would they understand how a player responds and feels? They can't. They're a spectator functionally. um and that was like the first step. And then also just like, I would hear it, and you know, maybe I'd be mad for 0.5 seconds, but then I'd just like immediately forget it. It has to like actually be in one ear out the other. And you know, the way for doing that is personal, but I guess for me, the way that I ended up doing it is, it's like, you know, maybe something that annoyed me would pop into my head, but then I'd remind myself I don't really have any reason to care, and it doesn't like impact me. And so then I'd go back to doing whatever I was doing and focusing on that. And maybe it'd pop around and it'd linger every now and then, but I wouldn't like try and give it the time of day emotionally. You know, it'd pop into my head, and I would ignore, my instinct to have like a jerk reaction to it. I just keep on
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it helps a lot in
Okay.
tournaments because people are always going to be talking about what happens in the tournament, and if you're walking by people and they are talking about how you lost to X player who you should never have lost to, if you can't like move past that within the instant, your tournament's cooked. You're gonna lose unless
Dude,
like you want to roll the dice.
I had a moment, dude, because like I busted hard at the last Arcadian. Like at the last Arcadian, I was the fifth seed, which was maybe a little high, um, but I was the fifth seed and I got like ninth.
Mm-hmm.
I like again lost in quarters. And the person that I've played at this tournament in losers, the first person that I played that I had to play in losers after getting upset in quarters again was the person who knocked me out last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, like it was so like set up on a plate for me to just be like,
To just
you're gonna lose to
lose.
the same, you're gonna lose to the same person. There's gonna be no fucking, there's gonna be no satisfaction. There's gonna be no like tangible thing to grasp onto, like showing your improvement. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I literally like I had to just fucking like I don't know what happened. Something happened in my fucking brain in like I literally entered. It was crazy because like it's such a small scale, right? But like you're like not like everyone always talks about Arcadian. It like feels like a fucking like
It feels like the
regional.
biggest deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like the biggest deal. So I just fucking I was like fucking pacing the lobby with like noise canceling headphones and just fucking getting all fucking weird, being so abnormal about this like
So
this bracket.
abnormal.
That's the thing, right? It's like it's a fucking little Smash Bros tournament in like a university with like not that many people with like not that well there was a good amount of money in here. I got a good amount of money, but like there's like
Mm-hmm.
really like no reason to be that pressed and like I was like wigging. So I'm just glad I was able to like find that headspace once because it was the first time I had gotten in one like that and like win 5 sets in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That felt really good. But yeah, I guess briefly before we just watch a little bit of this, I do also want to talk about tournament stamina.
Yeah.
You know, like feeling like you're burning out towards the end of tournaments, like in like the more important parts of brackets.
Um, Honestly, so I have two unsatisfying answers. They're not going to feel
Sure.
good to hear whatsoever. First of all, teams is a waste of energy. Unless you're willing to do it and just play and have fun and not try and super hard sweat it, if teams is on the same day as the main tournament and you put a lot of effort into it, that will always be an issue. Um, in my opinion, at least. Now, I'm not
Yeah,
saying don't enter teams because I think teams is fun, and I do not
dude,
blame you for wanting to enter teams, but I think the way you approach
hey,
it has to be different.
I'm a teams fiend, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, teams is really. I think you just have to approach it differently.
I be getting far in these doubles brackets, dude. I love doubles. Like I feel like very good at doubles and like you know.
Mm-hmm. I
So
think.
that's 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 a fair point though, because that is a thing. Like when I'm looking at you know, some of the people ahead of me, like they don't be entering doubles. Some of them enter like P plus or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the weeklies. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. I also felt kind of sick for that because this guy teamed with the DK we have Eclipsed teamed with Taza
No.
and they were in third they were in losers finals of dubs and they just DQ'd out to focus on singles and I fucking stayed.
Yep.
I stayed in and like finished out the dubs bracket. And so I felt kind of like a beast for like doing that and then still beating Taza at that tournament after he DQ'd for singles. Like I kind of felt like I was kind of feeling myself on that, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's sick.
I kind of want it all. That's the thing. Like at the end of the day, I want it all.
I think you can have it
If I look,
all, but it.
huh?
I think you can have it all, but it takes a lot, and
Yeah,
I think it also means that there will be times where you will not be able to have it all. There will be times where you want it all, and then you just like it just goes bad because that's how it goes sometimes. And I think if you're
yeah,
okay with accepting both the extra effort that you're probably gonna have to put in, as well as the fact that things might just go awry, then that's totally chill.
yeah. I might, yeah. I might just, yeah. I think I just need to ask a lot of people this question that like go far in brackets because I
Mm-hmm.
probably because I'm sure it's a yeah.
Yeah. The
Especially
second,
especially the doubles lovers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The
It's
second
like
thought I
I've seen
have,
Jordan win the doubles tournament and win the singles tournament so many times.
yeah, no, I think it's very possible. And I think most top, well, it's also for 1 day tournaments. I guess one thing is I do not know necessarily how to judge 1 day tournaments for this because it's a weird mixture of because it's a 1 day tournament, you're playing more overall melee because teams and singles are both going to end up being on the same day, but also at the same time because it's a single day tournament, it's presumably going to be smaller, and so the actual like difficulty of each individual player will be meaningfully lower. And so then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, there's probably some amount of energy you saved from having less hard sets overall until later parts of bracket. And so then
Yeah.
maybe it balances out. And that's something I'm not super sure of because I mostly only know the multi-day tournament format, honestly.
Yeah.
I wasn't a
So
doubles head for 1 dayers.
so you said the first of the two unsatisfying things was the doubles thing. What was the second
The
one?
second one is it might just take time. It literally might just be that because you started bringing up tournament stamina recently when it was like you started going deeper into brackets and doing well and stuff, and it's literally just
Yeah.
like if you are practicing running and you could run 3 miles without feeling like tired or fatigued, but then you try and just go up to 4, you're gonna feel fatigued during the 4th mile, but like
Yeah.
that will only be for however long until you get used to it. And I think it's pretty much going to be the same for tournaments. There's probably a conversation to be had about like, well, I guess the question ends up being in general, do you feel good about your melee stamina? Like when you're playing like friendlies or something, do you feel like you could play an hour or two of fully focused, diligent gameplay? Is that a thing you feel like you could do?
I when I'm playing like an intense like when I'm playing like seriously, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I could I could do maybe like 45 locked in minutes,
Yeah.
and then like beyond that I start to see it wane.
Mm-hmm.
But like I could do like a solid 45 of like I'm looking at the screen really hard, I'm trying to win. Um but sometimes anything beyond that, I start to just kind of like I start to really like my brain starts to go elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense, and I think that's fair. I think 45 minutes is a pretty good time too. But maybe that's something to keep in mind too. Is maybe working on that stamina could
Mm.
be useful. I know, at least for me, I'm not super. I've never been like an endurance player. I always play for relatively short sessions that are focused. But I know that in my time, I think I've played maybe. I think I generally can go around 2-ish hours straight of like focused gameplay, and then maybe I need a break, and then I could come back. But that's like I don't think that's really a thing you ever need to actually push. But I do think the idea of improving your like serious friendlies kind of stamina will help because even though it's not tournament, you're still trying, and it's hard
Yeah,
to
no.
try.
It's like there are some there are like friendlies where they're friends, and then there are friendlies where like it'd be inappropriate to switch to a secondary. Like there
Yeah,
are different kinds of, you know.
yeah, yep.
Okay, that's good. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's good. I mainly wanted to talk about the first thing. There's a lot to digest there, so that's good.
Yeah.
But I don't even think there's like there might only be one or two more tournaments the rest of the season, and I don't know if I'll enter them. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about that and just solo practicing a lot.
Yeah, I think that is a
But
good plan.
but
Um.
yeah, we can get into this set. I guess the only thing I wanna I guess tell you beforehand is that I am tired. There are some pretty uncharacteristic, just like flubs or being late on stuff. But other than that, I mean, you know, just like a normal set. Just kind of want to start going over it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I also have one more thought on the stamina. It's not super big, but I think the more diligent you are, not saying you're not diligent by the way, but it is like proportional to where like the more diligent you are, the more like or the less effort you'll be able to use when playing. And so like maybe it's a sign that I know you're also doing a bunch of new things too, and especially with like screen looking and being good at that. But there is
Yeah.
the idea that the more concrete and completely planned out your game plans and frameworks are, the less effort it'll take.
Yeah.
And so like I've had many times where, I'm sitting there actually like real life tired. But like it doesn't really have that big of an impact on my play generally, just because my baseline is solid enough, and that is something that might be valuable to strive for too.
No, I've been trying to do a lot of work recently on thinking harder about percent brackets and combos.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like just kind of like having a better sense of like you hit them with your opener at this percent. These are your these are the things that you want to do. These are the things you don't want to do. Like you want to knock them up here, knock them out here. Like little things like that.
Yeah.
Like kind of understanding percent brackets is big. I realized how big of a difference it made for the first time when I got good against Puff. Like knowing my percent brackets against Puff was huge, and so I'm kind of trying to apply that to like Spacey and other characters,
Mm-hmm.
and that's helped for sure.
Yeah.
Like sort of understanding, like, all right, they're at this percent now. Like this is what you need, what you don't want. But that's yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's watch.
I think this is the hangover. I think we start on Dream.
Okay. mm. Damn, I wish it didn't go back 10 seconds. Now you have to wait the last 10 seconds. Um, there's something we've talked about, but dashing forward against Falco in the further away you are from. Okay, so I think we've talked about it before with like this specific kind of dash, but the only thoughts I really have on dashing forward versus Falco are I like dashing forward versus Falco when we're really close, and I like dashing from really far away. But anywhere in between, you get
Yeah.
into some funny business.
Yeah, initial dash forward where I ate the laser, fine. Second dash forward, a problem.
Yeah, yeah. The first one I was totally chill with. It's like you're all the way. There's nothing that could ever happen here. Even if you immediately approaching lasers and you stand still, you'll never get hit. But now, because you're starting from this spacing, if you dash forward and you're approaching lasers, you just are gonna end up in somewhere, some like close spacing. Because I guess the goal is with getting hit by a laser is like at least on if you're getting hit by a laser on Falco's terms, you don't really want to be point blank. Because getting hit by a laser point blank on Falco's terms means he's probably gonna be able to do a button and you either are just gonna get true comboed or you're not gonna be ready to like defend.
Yeah.
And so when you're dashing forward, you don't know what's happening because you're in your brain, you're thinking about, okay, what if he lasers in place? What if he dash backs and doesn't laser? What if he arrows into the middle and I have to react with shield? What if he full hops and avoids me entirely? It's like you are looking at a bunch of things, and from Falco's perspective, he doesn't know what's going to happen. He's just lasering, right? Like he can't react, and so he gets to focus on just lasering.
Yeah.
And so then it ends up being very much in his favor, at least from like the focus standpoint. And so then you get a lot of weird spots like this where, oh, you point blank lasered and he was laser shining. I don't even know if you reacted to the fact that you like dashed as far as you did or what. He might have just laser shined regardless, but then you got hit, and that's kind of the issue, I guess. Is it leads to you getting hit just regardless of what the Falco's intending.
Yeah.
Nice, really good. Good dash
messed up, though.
dance. Yeah, obviously, yeah. Yeah, I could see that you're tired. I feel like you're not playing super clean. It's not like your execution is fine, but you're not precise, I guess, which
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
exactly the way I feel. Like normally I would space better for that and just go for a true grab tech chase.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't. I'm like watching. Oh, I'm kind of surprised that you didn't have the timing super down for this exact grab that you wanted, or like here the timing that you went in felt kind of late. You dashed a little bit too far, and then you ended up. It could have been bad, but it was totally fine because the Falco decided to delay laser. But if the Falco did laser, you might have actually lost just enough time to get hit before you hit him or something. And it's like, Or here, you mess up your up air, right? And it's like, oh, okay.
No, that was I messed up my back air. I'm fucking
Mm-hmm.
messing up my stick too.
Yeah. So I think that is definitely probably going to be the crux of the issue, and that's probably going to be fixed by external things. So I don't really have any thoughts on any of these things. But yeah.
Yeah.
Another kind of haphazard dash forward. I think dashing forward against Falco. I say this all the time, and it sounds like a joke, and it's hard to like actually like do it in the way that I'm saying it. But dashing forward against Falco just kind of sucks, and I almost don't like doing it literally ever. now,
Yeah.
now I will do it partly because I'm lazy and bad, but partly because you do get to play a proactive mix-ups. But like I think dashing forward against Falco is, I guess, the way that I kind of compartmentalize neutral options is there's like things that you just get to do as baseline neutral tools that are kind of good regardless, and things that are good but you have to do in specific situations or they won't work. Dash in other matchups ends up being something that you just you dash forward and you figure it out later and it's pretty good. But against Falco is like you have to dash in specific spots or it will not go well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not a general neutral option compared to like other matchups, which is hard because dashing forward is the most basic melee movement option of all time, right? But definitely
Yeah.
something to think about at least. Another back throw, that sucks. He's dead though. Honestly, you took the first stock, and I think you've exclusively made mistakes. So that's a pretty good sign overall. I think that
Yeah.
means
Yeah. I
that you're
guess.
pretty good. If you're able to make mistakes and still win, probably means you're pretty good, at least relative to your opponent.
Dude, he ends up fucking four stalking me game four. It gets pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see. Nice, great corner play. Took your time. Good full hop. Probably missed the reaction during the full hop though. I think that was a drill. I think you nared a bit too
Mm.
early, so you weren't able to react and decide to drill. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that dash forward wasn't very good. I also think for the last two times you've dashed forward, you've had like a weird thing going on with like you shielding preemptively. And I think that matters a lot because it all you lose frames and you're also limiting what you can do. And so it's like it's really important to be really good at only shielding when you see Falco jump. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and being able to like rock with it. And you could that's
Yeah.
pretty easy to practice too with Slippy or whatever. Not Slippy, Uncle Punch.
Yeah. Part of it was I think I might have been going for like a shield stop, but I got a shield slide because I wanted to run.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at the option I was choosing, I like pretty much shielded with the intention of up smashing.
Yeah,
Um,
I see.
and it was just kind of like I use a lot of shield stop stuff just to kind of be bit more precise. It's just like kind of like a bit like with how I move. So if you notice, I tried to I kind of slid an up smash, and I feel like if I kind of stopped on a dime a little bit before an up smash, it might have worked. But I do understand the general idea of like trying not to shield as much preemptively against Falco,
Mm-hmm.
which I do think I ended up doing.
Mm-hmm. I think my one thought in that case then is I am not. I do not think that would have worked just because the way shield stop versus like normal shielding works is you shield stop when you shield during dash and then you slide when you shield during run, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
here your dash ends like okay, skipped frames, or your dash ended like right here. And
Okay.
so it's like if you're to shield stop, you'd have to stop right here. And so then it's like I guess just to keep that in mind that like that is how shield stopping slash whatever works. And so then like that's the only way that you could stop on a dime.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, that's good to know.
You know. Nice. Oh, you should jump
How
the
do you feel
platform
about
there.
calling out jumps with up smash in this matchup generally? Because I that is I I I feel like it's something that I feel like you get so much out of it, and it's worth representing. Being like, this Falco's gonna like nair in here, like I should just up smash, or like, oh, this Falco's just gonna like dash back and go for a retreating option, maybe a retreating laser. Like I need to like overshoot with up smash.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about those things generally?
I think it's really good.
Okay.
I think there's like a holy trinity in this matchup between like up smash, nair, and shine, and I think they're all
Not
really
drill.
good. No, I think drill is broken, but not in the same way that those options are, because drill like is a move that's difficult to interact with, and like if it hits, gets you a great combo, but that's kind of different from up smash, nair, and shine, where those are like kind of bursty options where the point of them is to like super directly beat something out. Where I think drill is like kind of preventative and less direct. Like,
Okay.
like I'm not doing approaching drill. I'm probably gonna be drilling in place or full hop drilling or like dash back drilling or something. I'm probably not gonna be doing like I'm gonna full drift forward approach drill because it's bad at hitting people out of the air, and then forward momentum is the enemy of drill. You're just gonna fly past them
Yeah.
and not be able to shine, or grab. But yeah, that's how I feel. I think drill is broken and very powerful, but it doesn't. It's different from those three options in the sense that those three options are like the kind of like gotcha moves, and drill's like a just good neutral tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess the one thing about using up smash to call out jumps is I mostly only use it when I'm really close.
Mm.
If I'm far away, I'm not thinking about anything to do with Falco jump. I'm not hitting it. I'm just I'm just gonna be out of the way. I'm gonna be standing still. I'm gonna be full hopping over it, or I'm gonna be doing a move in place. I'm not like ever thinking about like running up and hitting it if I'm remotely far away. Like I need to be like, if you could see my mouse cursor, I don't think you can. I hate it when that happens. Um, okay,
Where is it right now? Oh,
okay,
there it is.
yeah. If I'm gonna like imagine this is Falco just standing right here. If I'm gonna run up and try and read Falco jumping, I'm only ever gonna do it from this spacing and closer. Like I'm gonna be
Or
really
wave
close.
dash length.
Yeah, probably about wave dash length. If I'm any further, I'm not reading jump. Laser might come out. He could dash back just enough to get out of the way and just punish me. I don't want to do that. But if you're at this spacing and closer, you're close enough to where if Falco tries to do something evasive like dash away, he'll get hit still. Or if he tries to jump, obviously he'll get hit because that's what you're reading. And he doesn't have like technically up tilt is about the only like larger move he could do in time that would like hit you
Yeah.
from the spacing. And so it's like it's pretty impressive just being in this zone. And so then like that's what I'm trying down to like throw the up smashes out.
Yeah.
No. You should jump to platform here. When you're super far away from Falco like this, there's no reason not to be on platform in my opinion.
Heard.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's just he's gonna laser and there's nothing you're gonna do about it from this range. And then you mess up, which is unlucky.
Yeah, I did not mean to.
Oh, you can't up B there. Up B makes your hurt box bigger. So if you're gonna ever do like jump to ledge and try and like snipe it, you just have to double jump sweet spot.
Oh, really?
You either double jump sweet spot or there's a KJH side B where if you side B slightly below ledge, you like clip up. I wonder if I can find a clip of it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know
Yeah,
what you're talking
yeah. That
about.
side
Yeah.
B. You have to either do that
I
side B or
practice
double jump.
that. I do. I yeah. I ledge refresh with side B a lot. Like or grab ledge from stage with side B a lot. So I'm pretty comfortable doing that. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think that, but it's a pretty specific side. You have to make sure that
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
it's not
further
I'm
out
trying
and
to
down.
I'm trying to do the side B that like grabs.
Yeah, it
Grabs
clips
early
before it
before
moves.
comes out.
Yeah.
Before it moves.
Yep.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You have to do that one and make sure it's low specifically. If it's not
Yes.
low, you will get hit. Yeah. So you either double jump or do that. Up B just isn't. It's too high. It makes you big. Hmm.
I wanted a running shine, but
Yeah, you messed up. You definitely meant to running shine, but I'm curious about that dash forward at all. So grab's fine. I think you need to be full hopping. Actually, I think in a lot of the spots where you're like dashing from far away, you could dash forward, but you need to be full hopping. I don't think you get to travel the ground safely in this matchup a lot of the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just Falco big moves. You're probably not going to be able to hit him for, and laser. And it's like you could just jump up and it'll probably work itself out. And the cool thing about full hop is that you don't have to like commit. You could always just drift back or jump to top platform. Ooh, that was greedy. You should think about escaping there, not hitting him.
Yeah. The awareness to drop down grab though is so good.
Yeah.
I think grabbing there from his perspective, especially with the camera skew, is like treating that like a tick throw situation. It's like super smart.
Yeah, that was a good play.
That's it.
Yeah, just normal drill shine, but you missed it. That's okay. Oh, the wind. That is so evil. Yeah. Honestly, I think literally the crux of the issue is that maybe being tired makes you play less diligent, but what that like manifests as is you being antsy. Like you want interactions to happen. And I think that makes sense because you know, you're the type to want to interact, and it's probably easier in your brain to play out interactions than it is to transition into those interactions. Just because what you're comfortable with. And so I think like this is all just, oh, I don't have all the energy I need to focus properly, and I just want to get to the point where I can play the game comfortably. And so then you end up doing stuff like, oh, I'm gonna run full screen, or I'm gonna, try and fall from the top of the screen and get like a nair to do. Like you want things to happen, which makes sense, and I think it's fair. But I guess maybe that's something to keep in mind for like when you're feeling, like tired or something. Be like, okay, if there's anything I'm gonna focus on, it's gonna be those kind of spots before the interaction.
Taking my time.
Yeah, like that's gonna be where all my focus goes. Yeah, because I think I wouldn't be surprised if, regardless of what focus level you're at, you're probably going to be playing the other interactions pretty well, right? Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, I wouldn't expect you to be tired and be like, yeah, you're just going to play every close range interaction bad now. Like, I'd be like, no, it's probably going to be pretty similar. But seeing this, the long range ones, I definitely am like, oh, those are going to be the things that suffer.
Yeah, and I end up winning the game on Yoshi's.
Yeah.
And then lose on Stadium, and then I counterpicked to FD, which was definitely a wrong decision, and that's where I got four stocked. So I think that's probably why I performed so much stronger on a small stage.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably you went on Yoshi's and you guys play interactions, and who'd have thought you won, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, no,
I haven't even made that connection about the length of the stage.
Yeah, I think that matters.
Tired. Okay.
I don't necessarily have any feelings on like if your stage picks should change at all, but I do think your focus, like what you're thinking about, should change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can't dash into Falco like that. That sucks. Yeah, honestly though, I don't all the actual interactions you played out, I think were fine. It's literally just every time you got hit was, I think there's 3 times where you got hit running from like full screenish, and then there's a few other times where there's the one that just happened where you're close to Falco and you dash towards him without a hitbox as he was landing, so you just kind of got shined. And then there were other ones where I think that actually might have been it. Honestly, it might have literally just been that.
Okay.
And I mean, I think that is pretty good because it means that it's not like everything's going bad. It's literally just the one thing is going wrong. Yeah. Let's see the Yoshi's game really quickly. I don't know if I want to stop a ton for this one, but I am curious how it goes. Nice. Oh, this is a hard one. You have to preemptively dash back there, so you could like actually short hop off and shine them. Nice, good full hop. That's a really good full hop. Oh, you're too close. You have to shield there.
That's a good punish.
Yeah. Oh, really good. Go back to ledge. Greedy up smash though. I think
I kind of was like, I mean,
I know exactly how you feel about that up smash. Like emotionally, completely understand. I completely understand. Nice, really good. Nice, good combo. Bit too preemptive on your
Yeah, a
combo
bit too
tree.
greedy once I missed. I needed to realize I missed, and
Yeah. Nice corner play. Nice. Oh, I think you should have landed on the platform instead of landing on the ground after the full hop.
oh,
Hmm.
bad.
Yeah, it's pretty funny watching this game. I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel it looks very normal compared to the last game. It is like
I kind of agree.
it is much more in line with what I expect. I think you are doing things like missing L cancels more, or missing wave dashes more, or like kind of being a tiny bit slow a bit more often. But like you are playing with the similar option set and confidence that I normally see you play at.
Shorten.
Uh,
Definitely a shorten.
nice, really good corner play. Took your time. Oh, you have to be better at that. I think that's an up smash or
Yeah, I have to
grab.
be. I have to be looking for grab there. I think.
Yeah. Oh, you almost had it. You had the right idea there.
What?
Nice. Oh,
See,
yeah.
and what is it, bro? He goes to the other side of the stage. It's a full screen interaction, and I swing super haphazardly.
Yeah. That's a hard one. I almost always spot dodge whenever Falco lasers close to me. Cool.
That's a silly way for that to end.
Yeah. Nice. Good invincibility. I honestly I want to see you dash back out of lasers more. I think you're either dashing forward or like staying in place a bit too often. I think dashing back will help a lot.
Can't believe I didn't
Oh.
die there.
Oh. Your ledge tech skill has definitely gotten you hit a lot too. It's either your ledge tech skill or your decisions off ledge. I don't remember. It's a mixture
I
of
think it's
both.
my ledge. I think it's my decisions off ledge.
Yeah, I
Straight
think.
up, because I'm hitting like good ledge dashes
Nice,
and
he's
getting good
dead.
length on them. Yeah, it was funny.
And you taunted. Nice, that was a good taunt.
Well, I was like 100, and he missed 2 edge guards, and I zeroed to death him. So it kind of felt like I had to.
It was a good
Taunt
taunt.
there.
I love that taunt. I was in my head. I was thinking about taunting, so I approve. Actually, okay. So instead of watching the other matches, I want to watch me versus Flash on Dreamland. Just because I want, because I'm one of the players.
Flash is the goat.
Flash is good, and I'm one of the players where I try and force interactions a lot, and I just want to interact with Falco, honestly. And so I will kind of just dash forward. I'll try and find ways to make it work. And I think I want to watch this so we could see someone do that in like a way that's effective. Because I also think that could be a part of your energy thing. Is like you have a game plan that you like doing that lets you kind of skip steps safely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting.
Now I will say there are going to be a lot of the same dash ups that you do in here, which is a part of the issue. So you'll have to be better than me in that regard, but generally it'll be pretty good. Nice. I like this. Using the
A lot more platform usage just off rip.
Using the platforms. Platforms are the easiest way to skip interactions against Falco. Easiest way. But you can't stay up there for a long time. You have to go up and down, but using them to like transition between spots is super important. That was a great backer, by the way.
No, that backer is beast. I was thinking shield drop shine for sure.
I couldn't because I was shielding Ling down. So I changed my decision. Yeah. I like this. I think this is cool. I try and up smash. Look at the range we're at, by the way, when I do the up smash. We're just too far, right? But the idea was pretty good.
It's close.
He's close, but he's going to land right here, and I'm going to be right here, so I'm just a bit too far. But this is the idea. If I was literally maybe like 2 pixels closer, I would have just hit him. Look how close that is, right?
Yeah.
It's like, but that's the idea. And you see, that's the spot where I up smash, where I think I'm that close. Good dash bag, and I only shield after seeing that he did the jump, and I'm really fast acting out of it, right? And so it's like all that whole time, I was being proactive, right? This whole time, I dash back, dash in, so I could power shield go in. I realize he didn't laser. I dash. I do wave dash down, so I get out, and then I'm immediately narrowing forward in case he stays there, and I'm reacting to the fact that he dash back lasered and up tilting and playing all these mix ups. I've read him super bad, which is good. This is super good too. You see how dashing forward against Falco when you're super close is good. So you see, I get to dash forward past him when he's right there, and I'm right here, and potentially threaten him in the corner using full hop super duper like preemptively just to like catch him lasering and then getting the fall on him doing the next lasers. Nice. Wonder what I do here. Oh, bad combo. I like this a lot too. I hit this back air and I stay pretty close to where he's scared. And then I see him jump and I dash forward. And then I'm at the good spacing after taking the laser. And so now I would probably put $20 on me doing dash back shield full hop. Oh, I tried to jab. Or I meant to, what's it called? I think I meant to turn on up tilt, which is also a thing in that position too. So I'm okay with that. I dash back shield. And I really like how good I am at shielding.
Okay, so if you're in wave dash, in range, but you got hit by a laser. That is the moment where take laser up tilt is good.
Yes.
Okay, because I've been trying to figure out. I've like pretty much removed take laser up tilt from my game because I was just doing it in really bad spots, and that's good. I needed an answer for like when was the time to do that. So when you're at that distance and you didn't get hit by a laser and you can dash forward, that's up smash time. And when you've gotten hit by a laser in that, that's like take laser up tilt time.
Yeah, that's like
And then
take laser dash back up tilt kind of spot. Yeah. Nair. You could do Nair forward and stuff. Like those are your options there, yeah.
Heard. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Also Falco, this is something I was talking about where Falco lasers you and it's on his terms. If instead of fighting, I'm like, I'm just gonna hold shield and worry about it later, and he dies. Good edge guard too.
That makes sense.
Yeah, use platforms. Nice. And then I messed up. But I did think this dashboard was fine because of how far we were. You see how we're full screen? I just messed up acting out of the laser. Or out of shield, I guess. Good shield. Hold shield. I get out of the corner. Nice. Nice.
Oh. I don't understand the freaks who just fucking shield get up attack on reaction. That's just weird.
It is weird, but I had to do it because I wasn't confident in crouch not getting knocked down. I thought I was past crouch percent for get up attack.
I think it's higher than that.
I think it's 90 something, 90 like 4 or 5 or 6 maybe, but in the moment that is what I felt. So that's why I power shielded there. I don't normally power shield. I'm super anti power shield. I think it's super whack, but I had to do it there.
Like it feels like so overcomplicated. I think you should crouch or you should space outside of it.
Yeah, I agree. I only power shield specifically in the spots where I have a really easy like setup for the tech chase, and I feel like the value I get from power shielding is high enough. And so it's like this is a really good percent. Which was it? It was back here. This is like a really good combo percent. You know, up smash DIN could lead to 0 to death. Grab is really good, and so it's like I'm okay with going for it here and trying to get as much value as possible. But it's like if they're at 80 or something, I don't give a fuck. I'm dash dancing right in front of them. Yeah. Nice. And then die. Nice. I really like how like patient I was in shield. It felt like I was trying to punk them. It's like grab me. If you're not gonna grab me, I don't care. You know.
Wave dash in shine drill is a freaky ass choice. That's weird, but I rock with it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I shine just because I want to hit shine, and then I drill because I don't know if the shine's gonna hit. And since I have forward momentum, sometimes you get the freaky thing where it combos. He was also holding in, which is why. That was a lucky up smash though, but that's fine. Nice, good read. And he's getting force stocked.
Damn, I did not know that this is what the set looks like.
Yeah, it does not look good for him.
Look, all I'm saying, dude, you play Miles with your Fox on Dreamland. Miles is not getting 4 stocks.
Probably not. I don't. I think this is a very unlucky time for him. But let's see. Get China Shield. I try and do the thing. It's bad. I like that dash forward, mainly because I shielded out. It was from far enough away where I could shield and stop myself before he was way too close. Good full hop nair, just like the ones you were doing, which I like. Um, let's see. Okay, that's fine. Oh, probably shield instead of dash here. Look how close I am when the laser hits. Yeah, this is definitely a shield spot. I'm way too close to dash.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you're close to Falco, you also can't dash back. You have to shield or jab or spot dodge as your offensive options.
Yeah, because approaching laser pressure just beats it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing I guess to that's in line with like the forcing yourself close to Falco is there's a lot of spots where I kind of throw myself into the middle really quickly, fast enough to where Falco can't like stop me from getting there, and then the moment I get to that spot, I immediately just turn my back. And then it's really hard for Falco to stop Fox from like just full hopping in place, spamming back air. Because you have a ton of things you could do between full hop, drift away, empty land dash, full hop, double jump, wave land on top plat, full hop, drift all the way in, and then back air, full hop in place, empty land up tilt. Like you can't, Falco can't deal with all of those things. And so it's really hard for him to deal with you full hopping with your back turn. And so if I could get to that spot quickly and transition fast, then I just get to, start exerting pressure immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, does he just die? He does. Yeah. The biggest thoughts are full hopping and using platforms a bunch. Um, turning your back, and so there's two spots to turn your back from. There's let's see. Well, let's see if we could find it. Yeah, okay. So there's the spot from closer where you full hop back air and your back air can just hit them directly if they stood still. So this is good against like the laser in places, the dash back airs, the down air in places or whatever. But then there's another back air spacing that is all the way back here. And you could turn your back here, and it's the one that beats like approaching lasers, approaching down airs and stuff. And technically they both do, but the way like it's different. Like this one's main focus is to deal with Falco in this box towards the right, and this full hop is meant to deal with Falco's box, towards the left. He's gonna like approaching laser and land here. You want to deal with everything from here and forward, rather than deal with anything in the middle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those using those two like back turn spots as ways to either like hold my position when we're far away or to pressure when we're close and end up maybe being able to do full hop, empty line, run up smash or something. Um, and then also, I mean, power shielding will always make it easier. So I'm not going to tell you to power shield every laser because I don't think that's good or easy to do or possible to do. So power shield when you can, just try and do it at all, and I think it'll be good. Um, and then laser dash back or take laser dash back a bit more often because it feels a bit too much of like a binary for you. It's like I'm going to take laser and dash forward. I'm going to take laser and do something in place. And dash forward in a lot of spots is risky, and in place is like relatively low impact. And so it's like just having more things will help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts?
No, those are some good like that's like yeah. I don't even think I'm that bad at the matchup. It
I
just
agree. I think you're pretty good.
I think the dash forwards are probably causing me a lot more grief than I realize. Like I
Yeah.
think the crux of it all is those dash forwards.
Yep. I think literally every other interaction you played that didn't have the dash forwards were like either minor mistakes where you like misjudged or maybe did something a bit too early or just lost an interaction or won the interaction or I guess I covered the two things I was going to say. It was just those things. But all the
Yeah,
dash
no.
forwards were like, "Oh, okay, that's problematic."
That's good. Yeah, because it doesn't. Yeah, it feels really up and down in that matchup for
Yeah.
me recently. At
Makes
least for
I
me.
think it's a very up and down matchup. I think it's really hard for it. It's like that's the hard part of the matchup, I guess, is making sure it's not up and down.
Well, I think having a habit that's that exploitable and can cause me that much grief, it can really turn into a 50-50 of are they punishing me for that or not.
I agree.
Which is like not not where I want to be, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Not where I want to be for sure. So that's good. I'm just gonna put a lot of brain power when I'm playing against Falco to get that habit out of it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask really quickly about you stopping lessons.
Oh yeah. What's up?
I just was curious why if that's something you're interested in talking about.
I the main reasons why I want to stop lessons are since I'm not really in the scene, it's not like I'm ever going to be able to like build up my student base. Like it'll only get smaller, you know, because
Hmm.
it's not like I'm going to tournaments or talking to people or people even know that I do lessons. Like I don't post on Twitter. I don't, I don't do anything within the scene. And so it's like no one's ever going to be like, this guy does lessons. I should ask him. Unless it's like people I already know or have done lessons with before. And so like the numbers are dwindling. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to end up just not having students to teach ever. And so that's how I'm going to stop. And also, since I graduated, I've just been looking for a job. And I think giving myself until November. I'm not going to get a job by November at this point. That's what I'm thinking. But I think at least giving myself the freedom to where like by the time I'll end up getting a job, I won't be doing lessons, and so I won't have to like end up having a bunch of like annoying things come up with scheduling or like having all
Yeah.
that stuff. It's like okay, well I'll stop it now. It sucks because I would love to teach for literally forever. I love teaching. But it is one of those things where it is not sustainable and I can't make it sustainable without doing other things that I'm not interested in doing. It's like I'm not going to
Sure.
play
Yeah.
Melee just to teach. Melee is way too
Yeah.
hard to just, get teaching out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dude. It's you bear all when you're fucking like actually just showing up to all these fucking tournaments, dude. It sucks.
Yeah.
Like that's what I think that all the time. I'm like I must clearly like this because when I come home from a tournament, I feel so exhausted
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
like every sense, you know.
Yep. It's you got to love it if you're down to actually genuinely be low functioning after the damn tournament. Can't do
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious. Yeah. I was already looking into like who I would maybe want to be my next coach because I definitely think I want to continue with coaching.
Yeah, I think it'll
I sh-
help.
I, sh- I shot like Cam a DM, but he didn't hit me back. But I literally just went to like the top 100 and I was like, which of these foxes did I like and think would teach me well? And I was like, okay, Cam was like just the first one that I thought. I actually really like Cam's fox a lot.
Cam's good. Yeah.
Um, but I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
the people who do I have in mind for lessons? Honestly, the only people I know that actually do lessons are KJH, Chem. I think Zamu does lessons. Um,
Mm.
I guess
I
Cody
think
too. But out of those, I'd probably recommend Kalindi the most, and then probably Cody second, just because. I also the thing about Cody doing lessons is I don't think he actually does them. I think he like fake does them, where he's like on and off with it. Um, and so then
yeah.
after Cody, I'd go with Chem, and he'll probably get back to you. I think he's just slow with responding.
That's the other thing is I was looking for. I definitely kind of want someone consistent.
Yeah, I think Kalindi does
You
the consistent lessons.
would you recommend Cam over Zamu?
Probably, I think Zemu is really good and knows a lot, but I kind of feel like from playing against them and interacting with both of them, I kind of feel like you would have a better time doing chem lessons.
Heard.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Chem's approach to the game falls a lot more in line with yours.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking about Zamu too. I also really like Zamu. I've had a lot of interactions with Zamu at majors and stuff. We
Yeah,
get along
Zemu's
really
cool.
well.
I mean, it could be worth trying. The cool thing about how they do lessons, I guess, compared to me, is since they do them kind of on like a lesson by lesson basis, you could, test them out for a lesson or two and like come to your thoughts then instead of it feeling like, oh, I'm locked in because I subscribed to the Patreon or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I kind of wanted to do next week I wanted to do that solo practice lesson that we've been
Yes.
talking off talking about for so long. I really want to do that, and I think that might just end up being our last lesson probably. I don't know if I'm gonna do them in September. If I'm already like talking to another coach, I might just like go in that direction since you're already transitioning out.
Mm.
But definitely, this is like, dude, this coaching over the past year or so, definitely been huge. Bemi is like, I think where I reached out to you. It was like we
Yeah.
played at Bemi, and I was
Yeah.
like, this guy's four stalking me every time. I need to get this guy to coach me. But yeah, no, it's definitely been super productive. Like I do not think I would have overcome certain like in-game hurdles and like mental hurdles as quickly as I did. I don't know if I definitely don't think I would have been like getting PR'd at the rate I would without the coaching. So definitely it's been super helpful the whole time.
Well, I'm glad it's helped. I also hope that what we did will serve you for the rest of your melee career. I really tried to make it not like a, all right, today we're gonna sit down and I'm gonna tell you you need to up smash this Falco short hop. I want you to like be able to have more freedom with learning on your own. I'm trying to teach a man how to fish, not you know.
No, dude, I every time I'm like, dude, no, I keep going back to like the positioning lesson that we did. We just talked about stage. Like that is like that's like the shit that I keep going back to every time.
Mm-hmm.
Just like positioning.
Nice.
That's that. That's that shit. No, yeah, no, it's been super good. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that briefly. And I'm appreciate the input on future coaches as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was good. I definitely want to talk solo practicing next time though, because I've been solo practicing like more than I have in months, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been really enjoying it. But I definitely like want to stay on that wave and do it better.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Cool.
I look forward to that lesson. I like solo practice a lot, so I'm excited
Yeah.
for it.
Okay. I'll catch you.
Yeah, later.